Hello and welcome back to Fire Emblem 3 Houses. It's over! Specifically, oops, that's not what I wanted to show. Supports. Unlocking them, that is. Viewing them, very much not over, but unlocking them is over. I have unlocked... So basically, I've unlocked every possible support that you can get during a Golden Deer playthrough that isn't between two members of the Blue Lion's house. And, well, I should say I've either unlocked them during this playthrough or I unlocked them during my previous playthrough. Overall, I would say that I just generally I've unlocked all the supports that aren't between two members of the Blue Lion's house, except that I think there may be some Edelgard supports that I don't have. Oh, I guess I also don't have the Ash Marianne support. I have to get that one next time, but aside from that, there may be some Edelgard supports that I don't have. And there may be, well, I guess Gilbert supports, and there may be some, like, Rhea, Sothis kind of stuff. But basically, I've got everything that isn't Blue Lions. So, yay for that. But that also means that I still have a ton to actually watch. In the interest of, I guess, keeping this playthrough moving, though, towards its conclusion, I think what I'm going to do is just make this one episode a super long episode where I just go through all of the remaining supports that I have, and then the rest of the episodes are just going to be the remaining, like, story sections and battles to finish out the game. No more monastery, no more support, no more... none of it. Just story scenes and gameplay. So, without any further ado, let's get on with it.
Hi, Ingrid. That was a great training session today, wasn't it?
It was indeed, Claude. It's so nice to see you.
Things have been pretty busy lately, though. I hope you're taking the time to rest whenever you have the chance.
I thank you for the concern. You are ever so kind.
I've finally got a free day tomorrow, so I was planning to sleep through the morning and laze around all day.
That sounds so lovely. Perhaps I should do the same.
Ingrid, will you just stop it already? You still doing that shtick?
Whatever do you mean?
Are you feeling all right? You're acting so demure. It's kind of creeping me out.
Ugh, you can't be serious. I always knew you were a layabout. But I see now you're also an insensitive nitwit, too. If I lecture you, you complain. If I act pleasant, you also complain.
Ah, you switched back!
Please, tell me how to behave. At least if you're commandeering my behavior, I'll get less of an earful of your complaints. Have you ever even once considered thinking before you speak?
Damn.
And you wonder why people so rarely trust you.
Shots fired.
Ah, right. I'm sorry. I guess that was kind of insensitive.
Wow, quite the apology. Sounds a lot like one of your myriad excuses. Do you really expect empty apologies to help you get your way?
I'm suddenly feeling dizzy. Oh, so dizzy. We'll have to talk about this later.
There you go again. You and your excuses.
That's quite the romantic music support.
Extra efforts to be pleasant, he and I might finally interact without bickering. I just don't know what the best approach is with him.
There is no best approach.
Were you listening to everything I just said? Ugh. I thought you'd run off.
I told you before, didn't I? You're better off as your normal, prickly self. I don't mind getting lectured by you, so keep on doing that from time to time, okay? Just maybe not all of the time. Anyway, oh, the dizziness. Bye.
As if an occasional lecture could ever cut it.
That, as something that leads into a parrot ending, that just seems like, no, surely not. But I do like, I mean, it's not very overt, but I do like the undercurrent or the subtext of the way in which Ingrid is sticking up for herself. It comes through a little bit more strongly in. I guess it is pretty overt, actually, now that I think about it. But you know, that is actually a significant problem. I don't know. I don't want to get too political in this, but there's a significant problem going on there that is actually being pointed out. I don't know if the developers are intending to do that, but I appreciate it nonetheless.
Mission complete. We're done here.
Let's report back.
Well done out there, Raphael.
Raphael the Ninja.
My presence wasn't too leaky or anything?
Leaky?
You weren't perfect. But you were good enough. The enemy didn't notice you, and that's all that counts. You should do well in battle, too.
Oh, yeah! Thanks for taking me on the mission with you, Shamir. Now, how can I repay you?
Please, there's no need.
Aw, come on. Don't be like that. I swear, I'll do whatever I can to...
Okay, if you insist. Then go back to the way you were. That's enough for me.
What?
I don't get it.
You're now able to go undetected on the battlefield, but usually you...
Ah, I know. I spent too much energy trying to hide my presence. I gotta train more so it comes naturally.
I was actually going to suggest the opposite. Your presence is a comfort to your allies. I am also more comfortable knowing that you're around.
Really? If that's how you feel, then we gotta stick together. We can eat meals together, train together, hang out
She just
together,
means in
or-
battle, Raphael.
No. I mean, that won't be necessary.
Oh, alright. I guess I'll leave you alone then.
That's not what I meant either. I won't stop you if you wish to continue working with me. Let's do recon again sometime.
Really? That's great! I can't wait!
Alright. I assume that's not a romantic paired ending, then, between the lack of romantic music and the topic of discussion. Which is fine. I do feel Raphael's confusion there. It's like, what do you want? Oh. Yeah, a bunch of these are going to be with Shamir.
Felix! I've awaited this fated day.
You don't change. Still prattling on about it.
Aw, come on. I just want to hear what you thought of the cake I gave you.
It was edible.
If by edible you mean incredible, then yes, I agree.
Oh, the
It was
puns!
satisfying and lightweight. I imagine it would be quite useful as a battlefield provision.
Please refrain from lumping delectable cake into the same category as provisions.
You're upset and I don't understand why. I'm complimenting the cake. You cured my dislike of sweets. For that, I thank you.
Wait, really?
You have an interesting way of giving compliments, but I'm glad you liked it.
Yes. Got any cakes on you?
You say that as though I just carry cake on me at all times. Did you want some?
That's not what I meant. If you baked a cake, however, I wouldn't object to eating a slice.
If cake is what you want, you can just ask me directly. It just so happens I have a brand new recipe I tried out, special for you. It's delicious and not overly sweet. Perfect for you.
Okay.
Go on, take a bite. You love it, I can tell. Here, try this one out too. See? So amazing, huh? Just keep working on that sweet tooth of yours.
Yeah, that seems like a
Then we
productive
can
use
share
of time.
Cake notes together and eat cake together all the time. That is, it just sounds nice is all.
Okay. That does sound nice.
Can't believe that entire support line was just about freaking eating cake. That's so dumb. I don't know. People bonding over, like, cooking food or whatever, I can see. People bonding over, like, I like this food, I don't like this food. Well, I'm gonna convince you to like this food. Oh, now I kind of like this food. Yay, now you're my best friend. Like, really? What? This certainly doesn't come across... I mean, well, actually... I was gonna say, it doesn't come across as something that would lead, again, to a romantic paired ending, except for the part where they had all, like, the blushing and heart stuff going on. Like, I just... I feel like that support could just be cut, and the game would be completely fine. There would be nothing lost.
Delicious.
Marianne, may I join you?
Yes, Ferdinand, of course. Is something wrong?
I am sorry, but, you seem very different compared to how you were before.
That may be true.
Right there. You are smiling. I do not think I have ever seen you smile.
Please, you're making me blush.
I do not mean to embarrass you. I am just saying you seem to have truly changed.
Well, I have you to thank for that.
I thought you had Hanneman to thank
In
for
truth,
that.
I spent a lot of time thinking about what you said. It meant so much when you told me that everyone has a purpose to fulfill. Even me.
I am so glad to hear you say that, Marianne. I wonder, did you find a purpose for yourself?
No, not yet. But I've been much happier since I started thinking about it more. I remembered a time back when I was working at the animal clinic. The rest of the staff was so thankful for the work I had done. Even in something as simple as looking after animals, I was able to make myself useful to others. Thinking about it made me realize that anyone can make other people happy, even someone like me.
It sounds to me like you have already found your answer.
What do you mean?
Making people happy. If you ask me, that is a truly worthwhile purpose.
You may be right. I just remembered. I wanted to ask about your food.
Yes? What about it?
Today was my turn to prepare the meal. How is it?
Oh, it is delicious. The flavor and the texture are superb, so you are certainly making me happy.
I'm glad you like it.
I hope you will learn to like yourself. For what it is worth, I like you.
Oh?
Maybe, if you have the time, you can cook something for me again? For me alone, I mean.
Of course. It would be my pleasure.
Cooking, Ferdinand, whatever. Marianne should go become a veterinarian.
Hi, Cyril. Starting to clean, huh?
Hilda?
Personally, I'm all worn out from carrying water and fodder for the horses. I'm going to rest here a sec.
Whoa, tired? Water? Horses? Are you saying you did work all by yourself?
What else was I supposed to do? You weren't here to help.
Okay, I get it. You did the work because you couldn't find nobody else to do it for you.
I was waiting for you. Because look.
A letter?
I told you I'm always getting letters from my brother. I wrote about you in a couple of mine.
You're talking about me behind my back? Honestly, you're so...
We didn't say anything bad. In fact, well, listen up. Here's what my brother wrote. Be he Almiran or no, any young man with compassion and good conduct is worthy of respect. Character is what really matters, not the place of one's birth.
Huh, that's pretty nice. Especially since it was from a noble who battles all Myrans.
Right? He's a funny one, but for the first time, I really respect him. So thoughtful and tolerant.
That letter makes me happy. A lot of people look down on me just 'cause I'm all Myran. So, you know, it's nice to hear somebody accept me as just another person.
Hey, what's that supposed to mean? I've accepted you from the start. I mean, you're so helpful. You do everything I ask.
That's not acceptance. That's relying on somebody else to do your work. What you ought to do is be a grown-up who your brother doesn't need to worry about so much.
Damn.
I'm plenty grown up. I just brought food and water for the horses, all on my own.
Being proud of doing what you're supposed to be doing just means you're lazy the rest of the time. Though, I gotta admit, being relied on is kinda nice.
In that case, from now on, I'll rely on you even more. Let's see. First, I need you to...
Well, time to get back to work.
Hey, hold up!
Well, I like that Cyril didn't back off in his critique of Hilda. I mean, he did a little bit, but mostly not. I mean, nothing is ever going to be as good as when he was like, why don't you write to him and say, hey, I was being real lazy again today.
Today was a great day for fishing, wasn't it?
It was, though I did lose to you in numbers.
You won on size, though. Some of these fish are huge. And it was you who caught this beauty.
It is a lovely specimen. The fins are rather like wings, and the scales are reminiscent of a lustrous rainbow. But I have heard this type of fish does not taste good.
It's a little bland, but it's not bad. You just need to fry it in oil to bring the flavor out. There are lots of little bones, too, so you need to be careful eating it.
You truly are an expert, Leonie. I would be delighted if you would cook for us again.
Happily. You know, once this war's over, I'll be able to make even more elaborate dishes. I'm sure none of it will compare to your wife's cooking, though.
Entirely different styles. I very much look forward to seeing what you come up with. Yet another reason to end this war swiftly.
I'm flattered, but that doesn't seem like a good motivation to fight.
On the contrary, it is better than the usual reasons. In the heat of battle, it is little details like a friend's cooking that I reach for to find my courage.
I have to say, I didn't expect that from you. You're always so serious. But I really value our fishing time, too. With all the chaos, it's great to have a way to relax.
I hope there will come a time when we can fish like this without worry, to our heart's content.
Hope's not enough. We need to build that future with our own hands.
Agreed. But even after that is done, you had better not rest idle. I've grown quite fond of your cooking.
Don't worry. There's plenty more where that came from. Speaking of, time to handle today's haul.
Let me lend you a hand.
So if I compare that to the Lysithea Felix support, I mean, obviously one major difference is that that one is much more amicable the whole way through, but I feel like they also get, like, they sort of justify having a support line that's basically just about fishing more by, like, getting into, like, what it means to them, why it, like, helps them build their relationship. I mean, maybe I just think that there's a little bit more to fishing than eating sweets, and I say this as a person who doesn't, like, ever go fishing, but it's just like, yeah, I don't know. That one feels like, despite saying on a singular topic in a similar way, it feels more, like, complete and worthwhile by far than the Lysithea Felix one.
There's nothing like a morning stroll to take in the fresh air. In the thicket there, is that a human foot? Ah!
Sorry, Annette. I was really out.
Hey! You shouldn't surprise people like that. I thought you were an undead corpse. Why are you sleeping out here anyway? We're in the middle of a war. Doesn't that seem dangerous?
Middle of a war or no, you'll not defeat the Master of Dreams. He's a fiercely strong enemy.
Stop joking around. What are you even talking about?
No joking, I assure you. He is quite unstoppable. Or perhaps you know his weakness?
You really never change, do you? You sleep just as much as ever. Do you even remember what I told you?
You told me something?
Of course you don't. I told you that putting in effort
Is how you grow. Is that the one?
Is that the one? Thanks a bunch.
remember?
Should I not have remembered?
No, it's just you should put your talents to use elsewhere. That's all.
The truth is, I place effort in what brings me joy. I'm happiest that way.
No, that's not... Okay, let me put it this way instead. Working hard for other people helps you grow as a person. Do you not get the urge to work hard for other people? Like when you helped me before?
Not as such. Why would I go through that effort? For what gain?
For the gain I mentioned. That it helps you grow as a person.
Oh, I see. Well, then continue working hard for myself. For example, waking me up today. And I suppose I will try to do a little bit more for you, too. I find working for others to be annoying, yet I wish to make an exception for you. I hope that's all right.
Just for me?
Indeed. You're the only person I'd bother helping. I could wear myself out helping you. Forever, maybe. What about it? I'll be there for you, and you can be there for me.
Oh, what do you mean by that?
What?
If we're doing our best for each other and all, then that's just a bit like... Just kind of like a marriage.
Huh. You know, I feel as if you might be able to wake me up every morning. No small feat, that.
As though I would marry a man who can't even get up in the morning.
Well, alright. I kind of wish Linhardt would stick to his guns there and be like, yeah, you can help people, I'm just not into that. Like, rather than being like, oh, I'll make an exception for you for no apparent reason. And also, it's an exception that I've probably made in like half of my other supports in some way or another. I do enjoy the banter, though.
I finally have a day all on my own. A day inside my room. At last I feel as free as a bird that's flown.
Bernadetta, do you have a moment?
I wasn't looking at their hats, I swear! And if I was, I wouldn't say a word about them. Not even if you tortured me. Mercy, please! I can keep a secret honest!
Hold on. It's me, Alois. Calm down.
Huh? Oh, Eloise. I was sure you... never mind.
I can't help but wonder about these hats.
Yeah,
But
seriously.
I'll set that aside for now. I wanted to apologize for being insensitive. I can't believe I trampled on your emotions like that.
Huh? Was there something you did? I don't remember anything.
About your dear uncle. It never crossed my mind that he might have passed away.
Oh, that. Don't worry about it.
But it clearly upset you. I can't even express how guilty I feel about opening an old wound like that. I'm so sorry.
Hey, it's okay. You're reminding me of him even now. And it's completely fine. I'm glad we talked about it.
Is that so? Well then, why did you look so sad when I mentioned him?
The truth is, I realized I hadn't visited my uncle's grave in a long time. With me not showing up for so long, I imagined him being worried about me.
I see. He must have been quite dear to you.
Hey, that gives me a great idea. Why don't we go see my uncle together sometime?
You want me to visit your uncle's grave, but I don't have any connection with him.
Sure you do. You're connected by me.
I didn't think of that. All right then, I accept. If you don't mind my tagging along, I'll gladly accompany you.
Great. Thanks, Uncle. Thanks, Aloise.
You should just call him Uncle Alois. Problem solved. Oh, right. Somehow I got Felix Ash. Well, whatever, we'll do this one.
Felix!
You, what is it now?
Do not fret. I have not come to ask you to chop wood. I have other things to speak of with you. You said that for one to live, they must also be prepared to kill.
This again. Yes, that's what I said. You still have a problem with that?
No, I do not have a problem with it at all. I simply want you to live too.
Oh, okay. Then I'll get back to my training.
Excuse me, I am not finished yet. During this time of war, you must wield your sword to ensure your own life. If that is the case, then it follows that we should bring an end to this war.
To end the war, you'd have to kill more people.
Perhaps that is true. But once all is said and done, there would no longer be a need to kill, only to live. Is that not so?
That's pure fantasy. But if it came to pass, there would be no place for me. What would I do? I was raised to swing a sword. It's all I know. In a world without strife, warriors like me would be lost souls. It's tragic in a way. We fight to bring peace, and then, if we achieve it, we lose our purpose.
Yeah, that's a real thing.
I do not think that is anything you should worry yourself over.
I do.
If the war ends and peace reigns, I shall be sure to have plenty of wood chopping for you to do.
Great.
What a generous offer.
And you will never be short on fruits and vegetables to chop for me either. If you felt like you lost your purpose in life, surely you would find a new purpose. It is not like you to be afraid of losing something after all.
I never thought about it, but maybe there is a path for me in peacetime. I'm intrigued. I might even like to realize this fantasy of yours.
Oh, that brings me such joy, Felix. Together we can make this a reality. I can see it now. A life where you slice vegetables rather than people. I will greatly enjoy the day when we inhabit a world like that.
Alright, fair enough, Flayn. Fair enough. Oh. Somehow I got 2 supports with Ash.
Hello, Marianne.
Romantic B support? Okay.
Won't you at least tell me why you're avoiding me? It hurts. It really does.
I'm not avoiding you. I'm just not very good at talking to people in general.
I told you I'm on your side, and I meant it. I'm guessing you don't much like talking about crests. Call it a hunch.
Well,
I'm the same way, you know. The value of my life has always been dictated by the damn thing. It's not fair to have your worth determined by something you can't control. Growing up in House Gautier taught me that the hard way.
What do you believe determines a person's value?
I like to think it's a person's smile.
Huh? Their smile?
A
So
smile.
flippant.
It tells you who someone is. Are they fake or sincere? It also makes you feel stronger when you smile. My smile helps me focus and set free all of that power I never asked for.
I wonder.
Try it out, Marianne. Be strong-willed and put everything you've got into your smile.
Smile. Be strong-willed. How's
What is
this?
going on with her face?
Yeesh, that's a terrific first try. If a bit stiff, lift the corners of your lips just a bit. Oh, I know. Try saying cheese.
Cheese?
What is happening?
Hey, that was good. It might feel a bit unnatural, but you'll get used to it soon enough.
Jeez.
She looks like she's stoned.
Are you sure this will make me stronger?
Guaranteed. It's a great smile, you know? Let's go to town and show it off. If you lift your eyes from the ground, you'll see that the world has all sorts of amazing things to offer. The more you realize that, the more you'll smile.
I'll think about it.
Please, don't let me pressure you. If you don't want to go, I understand.
It's not that I don't like going into town. I'm just eager to get back to my room. I want to go practice my smile. If I keep practicing, maybe someday I'll be ready to go into town with you.
Oh yeah? That sounds great. I can't wait to see your best smile.
I'm really surprised that support chain only goes to B. I'm also really surprised that they apparently made a special, like, animation and portrait for Marianne just for that support. At least I don't know when else that would have been used. Alright, let's do this one.
Eating? In the dining hall? You?
What do you mean? The dining hall's where I do most of my eating.
If only the old version of you could hear you say that. It seems to me you've taken more care with your appearance of late, too. For once, you aren't covered in gravy and oil from head to toe. I'm impressed.
Of course not, Ingrid. A proper knight has to be neat and tidy.
What?
Alright, what have you done with Raphael?
It's all thanks to you. You said I had to clean up if I wanted to be a knight, so I started being more careful. Do you think I have what it takes now?
You've certainly become more knightly than before. But there's plenty yet to do to become a proper knight. It's not as simple as eating where you're meant to and not being covered in gravy.
Maybe I'd have a better chance if
Oh,
I
come
just
on.
What does that have to do with anything?
You're real cultured, that's all. You already taught me to be neat and tidy. I figured you could teach me a lot more about being a proper knight if I always had you around.
That would be quite the undertaking for me. Listen, Raphael, that's sweet of you. However, as I've said before, I've no intention to marry. Let's cast aside this talk of marriage, and instead embolden one another to be the best knights we can be.
You're right. Probably a better idea to just embolden each other instead. As long as I still get your help with becoming a proper knight.
While you're working to be more proper, I'll be working to strengthen myself, that I might become a greater knight than you.
Huh. I don't know about that. I'm pretty tough. But I guess if anyone could beat me, it'd probably be you, Ingrid. Guaranteed.
Thank you, Raphael. That means a lot to me.
I don't know why they need to get so fixated on marriage in a game where, like, you don't even, like, it's not like this is frickin' Fates or Awakening where you have to actually, like, marry them off and then have kids or whatever. Like, you can just, I mean, then they have other supports where they don't do that. Like, why is it like, whoa, we want to, like, hang out together? I guess we should just get married so that we can spend time together. Like, what? Come on. That's so out of character for Raphael, too.
Did you want something, Professor Hanneman?
Ah, Lysithea. Thank you for coming. First, I ask that you allow me to apologize. I fear I hurt you with my insensitive words. I have failed you, not as a researcher, but as a human being.
I'm the one who should apologize. I'm sorry for being rude to you. Anyway, I'll keep going along with your research. I have to be on my way now.
Please, Lysithea, a moment more. I did not call you here simply to apologize. I told you once that you were an exquisite subject for my crest research. Why? Because there are no records of any other person ever having borne 2 crests.
Except Edelgard.
Correct.
We cannot say anything for certain about the makeup of your body. Therefore, it seems hasty to conclude that overcoming your shortened lifespan is an impossible feat.
What is it you're implying?
Lysithea, what is my field of study?
Crestology, of course.
Indeed, and the goal of my field is to unravel every single mystery crests might conceal. Someday, I even hope to devise a means to bestow a crest upon any who desires one.
Why would you want to do such a thing?
Because I despise this world in which the presence or absence of a crest can determine a person's worth.
Huh.
However, if artificially implanting a crest causes too great a toll on the subject, it would be useless.
I think we can
As such,
see that it does.
reducing the strain of crests on the human body is one of my research goals. Understanding how to implant a crest might also lead to the knowledge of how to remove them. Yes?
Do you think removing a crest could mean that they won't suffer from its effects any longer?
What I am trying to tell you is, the question of whether your lifespan can be restored is entirely within the scope of my research.
Could you really do that?
It is difficult to say for sure, but as long as the possibility exists, I will continue to seek it. Lysithea, let me ask you once more. Will you assist me in my research?
Professor Hanneman, I think I'm the one who should be asking for your help, really. Anyway, I'm sick of a crest determining a person's worth, too.
Ah, is that right? Perhaps you would even like to begin studying crestology yourself. I think you would make a fantastic apprentice. A life devoted to research is a noble life, you know.
If you do manage to restore my lifespan, I'd certainly think about it.
I will hold you to those words. Ah, I see a fine future ahead of us.
Oh. Another attempt to recruit a grad student.
So, now you've held Thunderbrand. Learn anything? What's going on? You look like you're going to faint. Is that Thunderbrand's doing?
No, not at all. My body is operating at its normal, healthy level of sleepiness. I felt no effect at all, honestly. Perhaps one exposure to the relic wasn't enough.
Don't tell me you want to get a hold of it again.
Of course not. There is a difference between taking a risk and being a fool. Interesting experiment, though. I used all my might, yet absolutely nothing happened. It seems if one's crest is not compatible, a relic simply will not work. To feel that response, to better understand the bond, that is more than enough for me.
I see. What will you do now? I assume your relic research is complete.
Not at all. I have other clues to follow, experiments to perform. That said, I would be pleased if someone who could use their relic with all their might would join in my research.
What? You don't mean me, do you?
Now that you mention it, I suppose you would fit the bill.
Sure seems that's what you were getting at. Fine. When the war's over, I'll help with your research.
Oh, you will?
I figure if I don't do it, he'll find some other poor soul to bother. It's like I'm keeping a high-maintenance cat. You're endlessly curious.
I am not being kept. The sentiment is welcome, but I am still not a cat.
Okay. I don't know, I think the comparison is pretty apt.
Do you remember this place? This is where your dagger almost took my nose off.
Ah, yes. The poisonous spider.
You really scared me senseless back then. I thought I was about to die.
I would not take a life without reason.
Ever since then, I've been intrigued by you. Somehow, I keep returning to this spot.
For a nap, I'm sure.
You see right through me, don't you? But it's true that I think about you a lot. What are you gonna do once the war is over? Have you decided on your next place to belong?
I haven't given it much thought.
Will you go back to Dagda?
There was no one waiting for me there, and no reason to hurry back. Besides, I've grown accustomed to the nomadic lifestyle. I can make do wherever I find myself. Though, I may be interested in visiting Almyra.
Almyra? That's a bit out of nowhere.
It's as far from my homeland as possible. That's reason enough for me. And you? Where will you go?
Oh, I haven't decided anything just yet. But if you're heading to Almyra, maybe I should pay a visit to Dagda.
Why would you do that?
Because it's where you grew up. That certainly warrants a look. And once we've both seen our fill, how about we plan to meet back up somewhere in Fodlan?
And do what?
We can tell each other where we're headed next. Who knows, we might find ourselves belonging in the same place again. Though if we do, I hope it'll turn out to be more permanent than this temporary coincidence.
We can decide where we belong when we get there.
True. The future's more fun when you don't know what it holds. I look forward to finding out, Shamir.
They really stretch to get people to say, like, we should do something after the war is over.
Cyril?
Hey.
You seem pensive. Have you been thinking over the advice I gave you?
Yeah, but it kinda scares me.
Scares you? Why?
If I found something else I was more interested in than repaying Lady Rhea, I don't know. Wouldn't that be kinda like I was betraying Lady Rhea, in a way?
Betrayal is a rather strong word, don't you think?
Well, I mean, Lady Rhea is why I got this life. Or any life. If I ended up just leaving her, that just seems real ungrateful and kinda rude.
If Rhea herself felt betrayed by your actions, then yes. I suppose it would be. But if all you are doing is seeking your path, with no harm to her, I do not think she would object. In fact, I am confident she would be happy for you.
Agreed.
You are?
Absolutely. If you continue to devote your whole life purely to repaying your debt, I think she will worry. You want to make Rhea happy, don't you?
Well, yeah, of course.
Then you should do what makes you happy.
Okay, I get that, yeah. By the way, there's something weird I noticed.
What is that?
Before, whenever we'd talk, you always used to call Lady Rhea the Archbishop. But just now, you were calling her Rhea.
Does it perturb you to hear me speak of her with such familiarity?
No, I just wondered why.
I am, of course, Rhea's servant. So in a more formal context, I must maintain a deferential distance. But she and I are actually very old friends. In fact, we think of one another almost like family. I know Rhea extremely well. When I am confident about how she will feel, I am seldom wrong. So trust me when I say that if your path to happiness takes you away from here, she will wish you the best.
Okay, I'm glad to hear it. Thank you.
I was thinking it could also be because at this point, Rhea isn't really functioning as the Archbishop so much as she was before.
So that's it. I'm going to be a great mercenary just like Captain Gerald.
You don't say.
Ha! You skipped right to the conclusion. That's exactly what Gerald would do.
I know. I picked that up from him too.
That might not be the finest trait of his to emulate. In the end, it comes down to combat skill. Regardless, I'm happy to hear you say all this.
Why's that?
I've strived to become a knight at the level of Captain Gerald. But I'm an old man. I've come to accept that I will never be his match.
No, don't say that. You can't give up.
No, it's quite all right. I know myself and what I'm capable of. But you're still young. Youth is a weapon of the utmost power. Infinite possibility. We are both inspired by Captain Gerald. So I hereby bequeath to you my lofty ambitions.
That's... wow. I'm sorry, I don't know what to say.
No need to cry, Leone. I'm relieved. My dream is in good hands with you. Captain Gerald is looking down proudly on you, I'm sure. Will you carry on his legacy?
Of course I will. Definitely.
Does that include, like, throwing axes at people when you're drunk?
Do you remember the story I told you once about what happened at the inn?
Speaking of which...
The hatchet throwing? Sure, I remember. Why?
Gerald ran up quite a tab with all his drinking, and he left without paying. Now
wait a minute.
His debt is due. And, as that you'll
oh my gosh!
You see where I'm going with this.
Wait, what? That's got nothing to do with me.
Nothing to do with me either. I don't drink. Even so, all this time, I've been paying it back.
Oh, this isn't as bad as I thought it was going to be.
And it's not just that one place. He owes money in towns all over Fodlan. I haven't been able to step into a tavern anywhere without being badgered for payment. So exhausting. But now, I can say that the debts are for you to cover. You're still young,
well,
so
no, it's
I'm
about as
sure
bad as I
you'll
was
manage in
thinking.
time. Thank you, Leone.
Hold on, that's a joke, right? Get back here. Take your lofty ambitions back. I don't want your stupid debts.
Damn! Wow, I would not have... Well, knowing Alois, I almost feel like he might actually not even see what he just did as like that bad of a thing. I'm not sure, but yeah, dang, Alois, that was that was brutal. Wow. It also, I mean, it's about time that somebody turned the Gerald thing back on Leone, though, considering how not upstanding of a guy he actually seems to have been.
Always diligently working on your craft.
Ah, Ingrid! How long were you standing there?
Only just now. Oh, is that the new painting you were mentioning? You sounded especially inspired about this one. May I see?
No. I mean, the painting's not ready yet. I don't want anyone to see it before it's finished.
But we had spoken about how much your perspective can broaden when you let other people in on your work. Had a change of heart?
It's not that. This one is embarrassing, is all.
Come on.
It's a painting of me naked.
You don't need to feel embarrassed around me. Please, show me.
Alright.
I mean, I know it's going to be some kind of painting of Ingrid or something, but...
This one is even more beautiful than the last. A knight in shimmering armor fighting in all her glory. That lance looks a lot like mine. And the armor. And the horse. Ignatz? Is that?
Yes. It's you.
The woman in this image. She's so powerful and regal. I'm in awe. So elegant and refined, but with such a soft air, despite the armor and weaponry.
That's how I see you. You remind me of Saint Saros. Brave and vibrant and powerful, yet kind and gentle.
I don't know if Ingrid is kind and
Sorry,
gentle.
Was that too much? That was too much.
Thank you, Ignatz. I'm deeply touched. And also embarrassed.
I'm feeling a little embarrassed myself.
Truly, I'm so moved. I guess now I really need to live up to all your painting encompasses. Please show it to me once it's finished.
I will. I promise. Though I don't think I'll show it to anyone else.
I guess that's why Ignatz gets all the ladies, is because he has all these paintings. Because somebody was, I was reading somewhere that he has like the most paired endings or like romantic paired endings of like any male character. Or maybe it's like any of the not, well, other than Byleth, of course, but maybe it was like, there might have been some other restriction on it, but maybe not.
Flayn, I hope you will allow me to apologize.
Why would you need to do that?
Last time, when I was working on my armor, you could have been gravely injured. You have been avoiding me ever since, so I want to reiterate how very sorry I am.
I'm not sure that's entirely the case.
So, you are not avoiding me?
To be perfectly honest, I felt a bit embarrassed. When you embraced me before, it really caught me off guard. You're surprisingly strong for how slender you appear. Anyway, it all got me rather flustered.
Oh, I see. Well, I do train quite often. On the battlefield, it is perfectly common to lift up a wounded comrade. It has nothing to do with your gender. In the heat of the moment, I pay no attention to such things. That is, how I would explain it.
I see. So you have a well of strength for embracing people, it seems.
Well, I would not put it like that. Usually, when I embrace people, it is in the context of battle.
Is that so?
That's just weird.
So the embrace was nothing more than a rescue. Perhaps I was flustered needlessly. I wonder if you would consider embracing me when my life is not in peril.
Huh? Why?
Because I'd like to feel that way again. That's why. How about it? Or is your capacity for embracing limited exclusively to warfare?
Oh, I see what is going on here. I had forgotten how charmingly ethereal you can be. Very well. As per your request, I
This
shall
is so awkward. My God.
I'm delighted. Does right now work for you?
Why, of course. Easily done. Although, perhaps we shouldn't tell Seteth.
Agreed. Better to let this be our little secret.
I mean, a lot of the romantic supports are awkward, but that one was especially awkward. Wow.
Manuela, about what we discussed earlier with regard to Saint Sethlin, I feel the need to correct your misapprehensions.
Oh, I won't expose your passion to the light of day. I told you I can keep a secret.
That's not it at all. How can I make you see? I suppose there is no other way. Allow me to tell you a very old story.
What kind of story? Is it about your past? Because there's a story I could enjoy hearing.
I once had a wife. She passed from this world a very long time ago. She was wise, kind of heart, and always smiling. A most wonderful woman. Not long after we married, we were blessed with a child. A girl.
You had a wife and a daughter? Why would you have kept that secret?
To protect my daughter. That has been my foremost concern ever since I had the misfortune to lose my wife. It is my daughter who resembles Saint Sethlin. That is why I make my oath to this statue.
True from a certain point of view.
Doesn't sound right to me. I don't mind saying it.
Why is that?
When you talked about your ideal woman before, your description was almost exactly Saint Sethlin. Now you're telling me your daughter is a perfect match?
It is not an exact resemblance. My daughter, for instance, is neither proper nor quiet. In any case, even in matters of love, an ideal seldom lives up to reality. That is the way of the world.
Do it again. Say, the way of the world with a serious face. You're so stern and proper, but you really can be quite funny. I love a man who can make me laugh.
My wife used to say the same thing. I never quite understood what was so funny.
I sound like your late wife? Don't tell me. I
No.
actually resemble her, don't I? Mirror image, I bet.
Absolutely not. Though, no, unthinkable.
The way you say it, I suppose I must resemble her a little. Wow, isn't that an honor? Say, Sedith, have you ever considered remarrying? You know, just so you're not alone?
It is not a thought that has ever crossed my mind. I have been too preoccupied with fatherhood.
It's been a long time since your wife passed, right? You should start thinking about it. There could be someone who finds you handsome, someone close by, maybe
Yeah.
even right in front of you.
Very subtle,
You said just now, I
Manuela.
didn't quite hear. But to remarry, I'd never even considered it an option until you brought it up just now. My daughter will not want to remain by my side forever. Perhaps it is time I thought about it.
I'd be happy to help you mull it over if you like. How about tonight? We could go out for a drink.
Are we back to this again? Very well. Just see that you do not drink too much. I would rather not have to carry you home.
Man, is Manuela really not able to pick up on the fact that he was talking about Flame, like between the Cephalene resemblance that other people have pointed out and the fact that she knows that he has this other family member and he's talking about like protecting his daughter? And wow, like come on, Manuela, get with it. I mean, easy for me to say, I guess, because I already know, but still.
Listen carefully, Cyril. This is important. Are you interested in becoming a better archer?
Yeah. I always want to get better.
Good. Then you need to find another teacher.
What? Why would I need another teacher?
Because I said so.
What is he, 5?
Not at all.
Why do I need a new teacher then?
I simply have nothing left to teach you.
Nah, that can't be true.
It is. Your fighting style is fundamentally different from mine. I'm a sniper. I find a secluded spot on the battlefield and pick my enemies off one by one. But you're a harrier. You weave in and out of the battlefield, assailing the enemy with rapid fire.
A sniper and a harrier?
What is it harrier like a type of bird or something? Because I'm mostly familiar with that in the context of helicopters or no, jets. Sorry, not helicopters, jets. And I don't think she's talking about a type of jet.
Correct. And your progress has revealed where your strengths lie. I've taught you as much as I can. You'll have to find a teacher who specializes in your tactics if you wish to grow.
No, you're my teacher. That's how I want things. I don't know about specializations or whatever, but I know I don't want a different teacher.
Then you'll never improve.
I'm fine with you, and I don't want anyone else.
Wah.
I only want you, forever and ever.
Well, he does sound like he's 5 now.
Okay, Cyril, let's forget this conversation ever happened. And thank you. Now, stop standing around. We've work to do.
Yeah. Okay.
There you are, Marianne. I'd like a moment to talk.
Oh, Linhardt. I was just on my way to pray.
All right. Afterwards.
It's already getting late, though. If you'll excuse me.
There's no excuse for you.
So then, you're done?
Linhardt, were you here this entire time?
I was sleeping. Are you ready to talk now?
I suppose. My apologies for keeping you waiting.
I wasn't waiting.
As I said, I was sleeping. I didn't want to disrupt your prayers.
I see. So, what did you want to talk about?
The results of my research.
Your research?
I intended to look into the power of your crest from the first moment I met you. I've been feeling quite happy of late, and I can conclude that it is due to your crest.
Are you sure that's...
Or more likely, I feel good because I've recently taken a bit of exercise.
Oh.
Although, keeping you from finding out I was researching you was plenty of exercise on its own. Listen, Marianne, I'll tell you one thing for certain. Your crest is not the source of anyone's bad luck. The research on your crest is lacking, but other crests have been studied quite a bit. I can find no proof that a crest can influence the lives of those who come in contact with its bearer. And frankly, transmitting bad luck via touch sounds like a crazy superstition, don't you agree?
That may be true.
By the way, eating the vegetables you gave me caused no ill effects. They were as delicious as ever. It may be another story if I drank your blood. Ugh, now I'm nauseous.
Ugh, you're going to make us both sick.
All right, sorry. As I said, it is my scholarly opinion that your crest does not cause bad luck.
Thank you for your reassurance. It does make me feel a little better.
It's probably just that you and the people around you have had some bad days. It happens.
Confirmation
I'm
bias.
going to watch over you from now on, and if either of us has bad luck, well, I'll look into whether it's just chance or if it's your crest. In fact, I'll dedicate my life to it.
And that's privileging the hypothesis.
For me?
Especially for you, Marianne. Don't make me spell it out.
Almost done-ish.
Come on, just one, please. I'll pay for it next time.
No can do. Do you have any idea how much is on your tab? More than you're worth is my bet.
Ugh, it's been a long day. I just need a little drink.
So long as my pocket stays empty, your glass stays empty. Don't cross me.
I couldn't help but overhear. Hello, Anna. How much does she owe?
Hi there, Eloise. Are you asking because you intend to pay this lady's tab? I can't even begin to understand that level of that level of kindness.
Alois, what are you doing?
I'm in your debt, Catherine. You've saved me countless times. Besides, you warned me about those scams. You kept me from getting cheated out of my money. So I'll take care of this. How much does she owe?
Thanks, Alois. Are you sure you don't regret doing that?
Of course I don't. Think nothing of it. I used to pay old Gerald's tabs all the time.
Until I dumped them on Leone.
Nah, that's generous of you, but I couldn't accept. You're a good guy, Alois, you know that? Not only paying my tab, but offering to buy me a drink, too.
Gerald would have kept drinking. He was certainly shameless about it.
Did he ever pay you back for bailing him out?
Nope.
Sometimes. Honestly, off the battlefield, he was disorganized about everything.
That sounds like him. And to be honest, well, sounds like you, too. You're probably not bothered when it comes to my debt, but I want you to know I'll pay it back.
I appreciate that, but there's no rush. I trust you. You're a colleague, a friend. And that's true whether or not you pay me back.
You're hopeless. But you know what, Alois? That's how I like you. Next time a con artist tries to bilk you, I'll be sure to save your backside.
I like that support chain. It feels much less forced. I mean, it's a little forced in like they're talking about him getting con, and then somebody immediately comes up to him in the B support and like tries to con him again. But like the interactions, like the way that they're responding to each other. That feels less forced. So, yay for that.
To put it plainly, no, I do not dislike you.
Really? Oh, I'm so glad I asked.
So he does care. Why were you asking me about the world outside Fodlan before?
There's so much I have yet to see. Even these days, when it's ravaged by conflict, the world is so diverse. Buildings and landscapes and geography differ vastly from place to place. There's so much variety within Fodlan, and the outside world must be even more varied. I feel so inspired just thinking about it. So, I'd like to travel there someday.
I see. You should go.
You think so?
I told you before, in order to know the world, you have to experience it for yourself. There is much to see. Even simple things. Flowers, food, varieties that don't exist in Fodlan. New smells, new tastes. I could tell you about them, but you would only imagine them, not comprehend them. If you want true understanding, go out into the world. See it with your eyes, feel it with your skin. Speak to its people. Then you will know.
Yes. Perhaps so.
Is there something else?
Want to come with me?
You've never talked to me like this before, Shamir.
It's nothing.
Sorry.
Hearing you talk about exploring the world made me think about what I should do with myself.
Do you have plans for the future? After the war?
Not yet. You're ahead of me there. I must find my own path.
Ahead of you, Shamir? I highly doubt that.
If you have time for empty compliments, you have time to encourage me instead.
Yes, of course. Shamir, may you find success in everything you do.
Thank you, Ignatz. I'll do my best.
We actually didn't invite her to come with him. Amazing. Yeah. Put off that one.
Take that, you goons! And that!
No, Catherine's at it again. She has charged too far forward. I better join her before she... Are you all right?
That's what I was going to ask you. How could you be so reckless? All those times you scolded me, and now you get yourself all beaten up. To think, nearly getting yourself killed in a minor skirmish like this one.
Quite right. Thankfully, I am not badly hurt. My apologies. I didn't mean to worry you.
What's gotten into you?
How do you mean?
Don't play dumb. I was supposed to patrol this area, not you. What are you even doing here?
Just happened to be passing through?
Sedith, this isn't like you bumped into me on a stroll around town. Nobody passes through a battlefield.
All right. I wanted to protect you.
What?
You'd pressed much too far ahead. I feared your life might be in danger. Once that thought occurred to me, I could not stand idly by. I had to shield you from harm.
And you were injured in the process. I don't know what to say. Sedith, I didn't realize you worried so much about my safety. I apologize, and I'm grateful. I guess we really are companions.
I did not do this merely to assist an ally. I did it for you. I don't want to lose you. And if I am willing to risk my life to protect you, just think how much scolding I am capable of. So you had best take better care of yourself.
All right, you've made your feelings clear. When you say it like that, I can't refuse. I'm sorry for making you worry all the time. I'll be more careful. I promise.
Please do. For my sake and yours.
Yeah, well, these These supports can get quite repetitive.
Whew. Guess that's enough for now.
You're improving, Leonie. No doubt a result of your new training routine.
Right, about that. I've been doing everything you said, but...
Something wrong?
Not with my archery, but... I'm not getting any better at dealing with bugs. Even with all the practice, I just can't bring myself to look at a real live spider.
You're still aiming at the spiders I instructed you to draw? Let me see one.
Sure. Here.
What is this?
What do you mean, what is it? It's a spider!
Ah, yes. I see now. It's quite... well, it's...
What's so funny?
You that bad at drawing?
I'm sorry. I lost my composure for a moment there. Your drawing is absolutely ridiculous.
Ridiculous?
I like how
That's
not
what they look
how
like,
like
isn't it?
deadpan she says
Do
that.
you know how many legs a spider has? Or what its body looks like? Or ever seen one at all?
I just told you I can't even look at the little monsters.
A lack of subtlety no doubt learned from your former mentor.
Ooh, nice.
Regardless,
Shots fired.
Aiming at this target won't help you overcome your fears. Here, use one of my drawings instead. Consider it an apology for my outburst.
Oh, why did you have to be so detailed?
This much detail is necessary if you wish to identify your enemy's weak points.
Oh, it's too much. I can't stand the sight of it.
This is guaranteed to help overcome your fears and improve your archery in the process.
So, archery's secondary now, is it?
You want to be a peerless mercenary, right? You'll never accomplish that if you're afraid of something as innocuous as a bug.
When you put it that way, I guess I'll have to. Okay, Shamir, you've talked me into it. First, I'll take out the drawings, and then I'll move on to the real thing.
Excellent. I look forward to seeing fewer spiders around here.
Well, that one was actually pretty good. They slipped in the Geralt reference without it being Leonie slobbering all over him, and like the problem that she was having actually like made sense as a consequence of her general like what am I trying to say? The downstream problem made sense as a consequence of the upstream problem. Whatever. It just that one held together well. Alright, so all we have left is I guess Alois, Shamir, and then the blue line stuff. I guess I'll just go ahead and do another Shamir.
Listen, Shamir, I want to apologize for the conversation we had. I really embarrassed myself.
No need to apologize. I was not bothered.
I just want to make one thing clear. I don't resent my missions as a knight. I will complete any mission I'm told to carry out.
I know. In fact, you are the most loyal knight I have fought beside. You are no coward.
I think I am a coward, actually. Every night I fret about ghosts that don't really exist. I wish I could be as strong as you are. The fact is, I'm weak. There's nothing I can do to change it.
You should not mistake your kindness for weakness. You contemplate the lives you have taken because you care, even when the emotions may be frivolous. That is something I am not capable of. I am not the only one who has noticed. Everyone else sees your kindness and wishes to share in it.
Shamir.
It's okay to hold on to the ghosts of your past. They are a part of who you are. But you cannot let them hold onto you. If you are sad, others will notice and share in that as well.
I see. That makes sense. Optimism. Cheery old Alois, that's me.
He recovered quickly and with surprising energy. Alois has many qualities I could never emulate. His positive and kind nature gives strength to those around him. Even to this Dagdan mercenary trying to find her place in an unfamiliar land.
Yeah.
Samir, stop lagging, start lagging.
He has many qualities that I do not wish to emulate.
Nonsense. The dad jokes are what makes him who he is. They're wonderful. Alright, I guess I'll go ahead and do these couple of Blue Lines supports, because I don't know if I've mentioned this or not, but I do plan to do a Blue Lions Maddening playthrough after this, and I'm not going to do any supports as part of that LP, at least not on screen. I'm just going to do battles. I probably won't even do story, because I figure by the time I get that going, anybody who's watching will have had the opportunity to either see somebody else do it or play it for themselves. Like, there's not going to be anything new there, so, you know, I've already spent a ton of time going through all this story stuff in each of these 2 playthroughs. I just want to get to the gameplay. So I might as well do Blue Lion supports now that I have, you know, while I have them. Because I'm not going to be doing them then.
I must have left it in the library. Oh, is that Felix? Hey, Felix. This is a surprise. I didn't think you had much interest in books. I'm already finished with that one. You can borrow it if you'd like. No need. I was just curious who it belonged to. Why not read a few pages at least, while you've got it open? I think you'd really like it. The plot is pretty different from a typical knight's tale, but it's still really good. Do you like stories about adventure and chivalry?
No, I hate them.
No, I despise them. Yeah, well, have you tried reading any? You might find them really interesting. I know I do. What do you find so interesting? Well, for one thing, the knights in these stories are always gallant and brave. And they always value things like friendship, loyalty, and justice. That's the kind of knight I want to be. Ridiculous. Friendship, loyalty, justice. Only fools allow their lives to be ruled by such nonsense. Fools who get themselves killed for nothing. Only to be celebrated as heroes in books like this. Writers of these stories are worse than tyrants. They seize control of people's thoughts. That's a little much. I was only interested in... I don't care. Such blind enthusiasm is dangerous. Be more moderate in your passions.
Oh yeah, you're super moderate, Felix.
You are exactly like the knight in this story. Excuse me? On the surface, he's sarcastic and intimidating, but underneath, he's kind and cares for his friends. In the end, they become heroes together and conquer all obstacles. Disgusting. Stop looking at me like that. See, right there. That's just what I mean. You sound exactly like him. I'm going to lend you this book, really, I insist. Just give it a read, all right? Trust me, and you can tell me what you think when you're done. Why is this happening?
So how many of Felix's supports are about him being like, I hate things, and then people being like, if you tried the thing, you might like it, and then him being like, oh, okay, maybe the thing isn't that bad. Like, go to the War Council. I don't want to go to the War Council. Eat this cake. I don't want to eat cake. Read this book. I don't want to read books. He's like... Oh, what a grump. Anyway, I also... I kind of get why... I completely get why, like, chivalrous stuff can get people killed. I'm not sure about, like, friendship... Was it friendship, loyalty, and justice? Was that the 3 things you mentioned? Like, friendship? Friendship doesn't get you killed. Oh. Nothing wrong with friendship.
Hi there, Ash. Here to do some reading as well, I take it? Ash?
Huh, Ingrid! You gave me a start. How long have you been standing there?
Not too long. Apologies for startling you. Must be a great book for you to be so deeply engrossed in it. What has you so captivated?
Oh, it's quite an old book.
Oh, yeah.
One of the really
The
old legends
Lug
of
and
Faunus.
the Silver Maiden or whatever.
It must be the Sword of Kaifon then, yes?
Oh, so you know
Oh,
it.
never mind. Okay.
Oh yes, I know it quite well. I read it often as a child. In fact, I read it so much that my personal copy fell apart. I brought it everywhere with me. I adore that book. The Tale of the Warrior Kaifon, whose devotion and loyalty enabled his best friend Lug to become king.
Wait, is that the same guy Ferdinand was talking about
to see
in
things through.
his support with Byleth?
Exactly. I love the image of him charging forward into the fray, ready to take on any obstacle in the name of his king.
Indeed, he was the very picture of the perfect knight. In my opinion, the best chapter is right around the middle of the book.
Ah, the part about the war of the eagle and lion? That's my favorite part. In a flash, Kaifon's sword flew from its scabbard. The knight parried the assassin's blade mere inches from the spine of his king.
Kaifon's blade hummed like the wind, slashing the enemy's throat. In mere moments, their forces lay vanquished, decimated by his mighty blows. I can recite the entirety of it if you like. I never grow weary of that tale, the pinnacle of knighthood, with all its struggles and glory.
I know just what you mean. I never get tired of it. Some people laugh at me for reading these old tales, but I'll never outgrow them. I'm glad to find someone who shares my enthusiasm.
I'm glad of it as well. Tell me, what other books do you enjoy, Ash?
Well, the first one I ever read.
That was the one I was trying to
Lug
think
and
of.
the Maiden of Wind.
You have fantastic taste. That story is another favorite. The final chapter makes me tear up every time.
I know. When I first read it, I just couldn't get that ending out of my head.
It seems we have much in common. I look forward to chatting again sometime.
I'd love to. Yes, let's.
Somewhere off screen, Felix is vomiting profusely. All right. Well, that is that. Yeah, I guess in theory, with another month left, I could try to grind out all the Blue Lion supports too, but I will not be doing that because I would probably lose my mind. It has been quite the investment of time to get these, more so than I expected it to be, because of, like, early in the game, I don't know if the higher level supports cost more to unlock than the lower level supports, or if I just, like, was happening to get good timing with when I spent like meals between characters relative to how much support they'd already built up with each other. But early in the game, it seemed like I would unlock them through meals pretty fast, and then towards the end here, it's been like the meals like don't make much progress, and you really have to do the auxiliary battles, and then like even then it takes like a lot in order to unlock the supports. Probably because the early ones I was like I had already been like working towards without even trying, something like that. Anyway, whatever the case, it's been a long journey. But now it is complete, and now we are ready to finish out the game. So next episode, we will be destroying Shambhala, and from this point forward, it's going to be, like I said, all battles and story. No more supports, no more monastery, none of it, just battles and story scenes. So I'll be back with, yeah, the mission next episode. Thanks for watching, and until then...